And welcome back to the Kenny and JT Show here on News Talk 1480 WHBC. It is rivalry week. We are thrilled to be a part of it. Friday night, a huge game for everybody, and it means something to our next guest as well, because Friday night, Hoover hosts Jackson, and if Jackson beats Hoover, that means McKINLEY gets a share of the Federal League Championship, but they're not as worried about that as they are about their game on Saturday as part of rivalry week, the 132nd meeting between McKINLEY and Massillon. And joining us right now on the Wakeham Way hotline to break it all down on the Kenny and JT Show, outstanding first-year head coach of the McKINLEY Bulldogs, that's Antonio Hall. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good. I don't know about the outstanding coach part, but I'm doing well. Coach,
after the 0-2 start, and I'm raising my hand, I don't know if you can see this, guilty. I'm sitting there going, are they going to win a football game this year after the 0-2 start? So I am guilty as charged. You've done a remarkable job since then, winning 6 of your last 7 games. What turned it around for you guys after that 0-2 start?
I just think that the kids continue to buy in. I think my coaches have done a tremendous job getting these guys coached up on the fly. People don't realize everything that happened since June 3rd. And before opening night, you don't have much time to do anything. We're still evaluating. We're still trying to see what guys fit best in the scheme at certain positions. You're trying to establish discipline on the team and trying to get guys to do things your way. So, guys are missing playing time. So, there's just a lot of things going on. And, once the dust finally started to settle a little bit, everybody got more comfortable in their roles and in the scheme. We started playing some pretty good football.
Coach, being a homegrown guy, coaching the same high school that you played at, a week like this, how do you control your emotions?
That's rough, man. I've been I think I've done a decent job so far of controlling my emotions, but I know that at 158, when we're coming out that tunnel, the tears are going to be rolling down the cheeks. It did when I was a player, it did when I was an assistant coach, and you bet your ass it's going to happen as the head guy.
Your dad has been an administrator for years, Kansas City school system. Now you find yourself in the same position, and you guys take the field at 2:00 against the biggest rival maybe in all of high school sports in the entire country. Mm-hmm. And we talk about emotions. Let's talk about distractions leading up to the game. Mm-hmm. Dinners, bonfires, pep rallies. How do you juggle it all? Interviews.
Right. Yeah. Case in point. But it's part of it. It almost reminds me of like a bowl week with, all the events and interviews and pageantry that goes along with it, and rightfully so. But like I tell my guys, and I'm sure Nate is telling his guys the same thing, our job in this is 2:00 on Saturday. So, enjoy it, go through it, but all the time knowing that, this isn't for you. This is for the rest of the community. Our job in this is Saturday at 2.
Antonio Hall is our guest here on the Kenny and JT Show. He's getting his team ready for the big game on Saturday. Massillon is at McKINLEY, 2:00 right here on WHBC. Coach, let's go back to your game this past week against Glen Oak. Fall behind, come out, take a big lead. They come back, make a rally, you hold on and get the win. That game before the Massillon game, how tough is that game to play? Because a lot of the focus in this Jim Thome term there is on that Massillon game with a lot of kids, I'm sure, the next week. So how were you able to come back, rally, win it, hold on, and not overlook Glen Oak?
It was tough, man. Not only just keeping our focus throughout the week, I think we did a pretty good job of that. But a lot of guys went down in the second half on defense, and so you're trying to coach guys up on the run, and Glen Oak makes a couple of quick scores, and all of a sudden you're back in the ball game again. So you really got to tighten the reins, and I think our coach did a great job, and our players did a great job of responding and doing enough to make sure that we came out with the dub.
One of the former coaches, I was privy enough to be there with the '81 state championship team at the Glen Oak game, and you guys presented them before the game, and it was a fantastic, really special event. And all the members of that championship team were on hand that are still with us. And one of the assistant coaches was Bobby Neff, and he said just that. He said, the worst game of the year to coach is against a team that's not very good, and that's no knock on Glen Oak this year, but their record says they're not very good. The worst game of the year to coach is the week before the Massillon game, because, you know, maybe you're starting to look ahead, maybe you're not, maybe the players know what's going on. Heck, they already put the signs up downtown. It's hard to ignore the fact that it's the 132nd meeting of this rivalry, and it trumps all. But it takes us back to what Kenny had said about the season and how it unfolded underneath you. Is it true that you look at a game like this and say, if I could win one game a year, it would be this Saturday?
For me, no. Why again, Massillon week is huge for me. I was brought up in a system to where we worried about week 10 at 10 o'clock p.m. Friday of week 9. And that preparation of week 10 was the same preparation that we had to have moving forward through the playoffs. So while, yes, do I want to beat Massillon here? You bet your ass I do. But is that my main focus of every year? No, it is not.
What is your main focus then? Well, what tops that? Because different people have different opinions on that, Coach. JT and I have talked about this. Would you rather win a state championship, or would you rather beat Massillon, or would you rather beat McKINLEY? And some people have differing opinions. So what is your main focus then?
My main focus ultimately is to get us competing or in contention for a state championship year in and year out. But before we do that, we have to learn how to play championship caliber football on a consistent basis. So right now, my main focus is consistency and making sure that no matter who we play on any given day, whether it's a D4 team, a D1 team, Crenshaw Cougars, Cleveland Browns, I don't care. We're coming out playing at a high caliber, and we're playing at a championship level. So my thing has and always will be championships.
Coach, we spoke during the regular season, and we know how rough it was on everyone, including the staff, including all the teachers, the students, and everybody involved with the McKINLEY program. Was there an aha moment where things started to come together for you?
I don't think it was the aha moment, but I think after we beat Wayne at Wayne in the fashion that we won, I think guys now got it. I think it clicked, like, you know what? Coach isn't just blowing a bunch of smoke, or coach, isn't just saying what he thinks we need to hear. So I think there was a big step forward in the buy-in to the culture that myself and the coaching staff is trying to lay out for them, and it's only gotten better every week.
How about this? I had Nate Moore on yesterday, and he said the biggest win
for me. Oh, okay, I see how it is.
Yeah.
I was having surgery. It was kind of messed up.
It was all discombobulated, right, because of JT's surgery. So I did the interview, and he said the biggest win of any team in Stark County this year was your win at Huber Heights Wayne. He said going down there and beating that team with the talent that they have on that team this year. He said of all the wins, that was the biggest win in Stark County by anybody this year. Did you see it that way too when you came back on that bus ride?
I mean, I never would classify it as the biggest win for a team in Stark County, but it's definitely the biggest win that we've had thus far, or up until that point. I mean, I think also, going to Jackson and with the season that they're having and the talent level that they have, I think that was a big win too. But again, Wayne is what turned the season around for us. And, I appreciate Nate being very complimentary of that.
How was it sharing the stage with them at the Pro Football Hall of Fame luncheon? What was that like? The combatants, you guys are both up there.
I mean, but but besides the orange jacket, not bad. Nate, me and him have a very good relationship off the field. We've had for a few years. I admire what he's been able to build and grow with that program over there. And it's because he emphasizes the same things that I emphasize, which is the quality and character of the young man that you're trying to develop. And that reflects in your product on the field. And so we've had numerous conversations about philosophy, about culture, what have you. And we share a lot of the same ideals when it comes to that. So, sharing the stage with my friend Nate Moore is okay. Sharing it with my opposing head coach of the biggest rival in the world, it was.
Antonio, you've been a coach for a while now, and you've been the head coach or interim head coach at McKINLEY now for a full season. Has there been any talk about removing the interim tag from Antonio Hall's name?
No. And I really don't want there to be. I have a body of work to complete. I don't want to be too premature on anything. And so after the season concludes, whenever it concludes, we'll look at my body of work. And if they want to have that conversation, we will. And if not, then, we'll see where the road goes after that.
McKINLEY head coach Antonio Hall with us here on the Kenny and JT show. Big game on Saturday right here on WHBC, 2 o'clock kickoff. We've got pregame at 12 o'clock. Join JT and I at 9 a.m. at Jersey's on Fulton for a special Kenny and JT show, 9 to 11, getting everybody lathered up and ready for the greatest rivalry in high school sports. And Coach, let's go to the game now, all right? Let's look at Massillon team and tell me what you see on film from the 7-2 Tigers this year.
I see a very fast team defense. They get to the ball. They're very, very sound. I see a very strong running game. I think their freshman quarterback has gotten a lot better over the past few weeks. I see a very strong special teams unit. I mean, their punt and kick return teams are very good, and number 4 is a huge threat out there. So they've gotten better each and every week. I know they've had guys in and out the lineup because of injuries and other things, but next man up, they've continued to get better and improve, and it's going to be a fun one on Saturday.
We talk about improvement. We talk about the McKINLEY program as well. When you guys started the beginning of the season, it seemed as though you wanted to maybe throw the ball more, and then you started to rely on the running game, and you could understand that it could actually work. What is your message going into a game like this to your players now on Saturday? Because as we all know, anybody that's ever strapped it up, everybody who ever took the field at Fawcett or at Tom Benson or even at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium knows there's a difference on that Saturday afternoon game, and you can't get too overly excited about it. How do you keep that even keel?
You just have to keep having these conversations with our guys. And fortunately for us, we have a lot of former Bulldog players and coaches on staff who can help walk and guide them through this week. And we had that talk yesterday about not peaking emotionally too soon. I mean, we want to gradually grow this thing every day, and then Saturday at 2 o'clock, that's when you want to let it all come out.
All right, you brought up number 4, and we're talking about Austin Browley. 6 block kicks this year, Coach, in one season. That's a career for maybe 10 guys usually in high school football. He's got 6 block kicks. He's scored 4 different ways this year: punt return, kick return, wide receiver reception, and a pick 6. So tell me what makes him so good, so special, because to me, Harold Fannin is to your team what he is to their team.
Agreed. There are, like I tell my guys, there are a lot of guys who play football, but you can recognize immediately who's a foot. I mean, there's a lot of guys who play the game, but there's a lot of guys who are just football players. And certain guys like Harold, you can recognize immediately that he's a football player. And I feel that same way about number 4. I mean, you put him on the field at any position, he's going to have success. Certain guys, they just get the game, they understand the game, and they play it the right way, hard and with passion. And that's exactly what he does. Whether you're turning the ball, I even like how he comes up and hits as a defensive back. I mean, he's not afraid to put the body. You know, him, number 4 over there and number 5 over here are very similar players.
So, Coach, give me some keys. If you guys are going to get a win on Saturday, snap a 5-game losing streak, right, and beat Massillon, and you go 1-0 as the head coach there after 2-1, I think, as a player, what are some of the keys for you?
Biggest thing is, you know, we can't give them opportunities. Limit our mistakes. We can't turn the ball over. We just can't give them anything to capitalize on. If we can't play our game, do what we're supposed to do, I like our chances. But again, we have to play 4 quarters of sound football in all 3 phases of the game to have a chance.
Coach, thanks for making time for us on a busy week. We really appreciate it. Should be a lot of fun Saturday at 2 o'clock at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Massillon, McKinley. Episode 132. We'll have it for everybody here on WHBC, and we'll see you Saturday at the game.
Looking forward to it.
All right, there he is, the head coach of the McKinley Bulldogs, Antonio Hall, checking in with us here on the Kenny and JT Show.